guess what day it is? Yes, it is House of Flame and Shadow Day. I am so excited. I'm so excited. It is bright and early, 7:54. My Target opens at 8. I was trying to get there at 8, but I kind of didn't get up in time, so maybe a little bit past 8. But if you don't know, there's different bonus scenes in all the different editions. The bonus scene that I want is in the Target edition, so I'm gonna go to Target and get it. And I'm so excited. I've been listening or watching what we said because they now are on YouTube. Love that. And getting ready to go get House of Flame and Shadow. I'm so excited. I already have it downloaded on my Kindle. I did read the prologue in the first chapter that Sarah J. Maas posted on our website, and I finished a book last night, like a romance book that I was reading, so today I could start House of Flame and Shadow. I'm quite terrified, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so scared to read this book, but I'm so excited, so I'm gonna take you along. This is probably gonna be a vlog, me reading it, which is kind of fun. Most likely spoiler free, also me going to get it. I obviously read Crescent City 2 in January, loved them, and because of the end of Crescent City 2, I'm so excited for Crescent City 3. Like, I feel like it's gonna be so good. So, it's time. And this is my first ever Sarah J. Maas release day since being on like Bookstagram, BookTube. So I feel like I'm like in the know, like I feel like I'm a part of everything going and enjoying a release day for Sarah J. Maas. So it's time to go. It's time to go get Crescent City 3. Who is excited? I'm excited. Let's go. Get House of Flame and Shadow. So excited. It is way later in the day, but I got the book. I got Crescent City 3, House of Flame and Shadow. I cannot believe this book is in my hands right now. It feels insane because, I mean, I just read Crescent City, but I feel like collectively, as a book community, we've been waiting for this book for so long, like since she announced it and like seeing people post about it and knowing this release was coming up. So I wanted to read the first 2 books. I have not read any of it. It's like 3 p.m. I have not read any of it because I've had so much to do today, and I feel like I can't like just read a little bit. Like I need to sit and like read a ton tonight. Like I'm so excited. Based on how Crescent City 2 ended, I feel like this, well, I did read the prologue in chapter 1, so I kind of know, but it's just gonna like go right into it and be like super insane from the beginning, which is so exciting. Like I am so excited. So I did get it at Target, and when I went there they didn't have it on the shelf. I'm not surprised because when I went to get Iron Flame they also didn't have it on the shelf, but I got there like a little bit after opening. The store opened and no one was there, like in the book section. So I walk up, give you a story time. I walk up, don't see it. There's a worker there like looking around, like doing stuff at the book. So I'm like, hey, do you have House of Flame and Shadow, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, I think it's in the back. And then I was like, do you have like the Target edition? She was like, yeah, I think so, but I'll check. And so she goes back. I'm sitting there hanging out, waiting for her to come back. And I see another girl walk up, and she asked a different worker, hey, do you have Sarah J. Maas's new book, House of Flame and Shadow? And the worker literally says, no, we don't. The books that came yesterday are already on the shelf, so it'll probably come tomorrow. And I was like, so the girl walks off. Right after that, the other worker walks up to me with this in her hand. I'm like, so I'm like running through Target to find this girl because I was like, they have Crescent City. I don't want her to leave the store without it. So thankfully she stopped at Starbucks and Target, and I was like, hey, the other worker got House of Flame and Shadow for me. It's back in the back of the store. And she was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. So that was my experience getting Crescent City 3 anyways. And I felt so bad for her. I was like, I can't let her leave because she wants this book, and I'm assuming she wants the, well, she might have just went to Target because it opens before Books A Million, but I'm assuming she wanted the bonus scenes from this book. So anyways, I saved her life. I'm just kidding. But I got Crescent City 3. I did get the Target edition, but I took off the sticker. Thankfully, the sticker is removable. I was like, I do not want to buy it if the sticker's not removable. I also did pre-order it on Amazon, so I need to return that because it came in today. But I really wanted the Target edition, so you know, it's like a backup, like just in case Target doesn't have it, it'll come in. Anyways, so I got Crescent City 3. I am so excited. Like I literally can't stop looking at it. It's here, it's in my hands, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm gonna read this later. I need to finish editing a video that I've been editing for so long and then read this tonight. My husband's gonna get Chick-fil-A, so I don't have to cook supper and I can just read. I'm so excited. Like here she is in all her glory. I'm so excited. So I've been reading Crescent City 3. I'm not very far in. I'm on page 182 on the Kindle, but I think it's like there's more pages in the Kindle version, so I'm currently 19% on chapter 14, and it is so good. Like I feel like this entire book is gonna be absolutely insane. I feel like in the first book you're like learning a lot of information, and then in the end it gets crazy, and then in the second one it's kind of building up. to what happens at the end. And then this book is kind of like almost the climax or like the pinnacle moment in the series. And we're just kind of building and building and building, and like, I don't know how to explain it because I don't want to give spoilers, but you're also getting the POVs of like everyone. And so you're waiting on something to happen, but it's going to take a while because you're getting like everybody's POV. I'm really enjoying it though. It's so good. And I cannot wait to like get to the end and find out like how everything ends up. I knew it was probably going to be the best one of the series just because of the way the second one ended, and I'm really loving it so far. So it's painful and like so much action is happening. It's almost reminding me of Kingdom of Ash in the way that Kingdom of Ash, there's like so much going on and so much buildup has happened in the series for this moment, and I feel like that's gonna happen in Crescent City 3 in a way. It's also like brutal, but like, I don't know, just kind of similar in the way that the story's going. I don't know how to explain it, but anyways. So that's my update. I'm gonna try to read a ton tonight. And I also want to read the physical copy. I've just been reading on my Kindle the past day. It's the 31st now. It came out yesterday. So I feel like I made a decent like bit, but I haven't really made like a huge dent in it or anything. So I'm really enjoying it so far. So I thought I would do a little update on Crescent City. Also, I feel like I'm so far from the camera. It's because Lily's laying right here. So that's where my tripod is, over there. Anyways, I am making a lot of progress. I feel like I've read quite a bit the past few days. So I'm currently on part 3. I just got to part 3, page 581. And I have been reading mostly on my Kindle, and the Kindle has more pages, like 900 something pages, while the hardback has like 850 pages, something like that. So I feel like I've been reading on my Kindle, but I have to like go back to the book to see actually what page I'm on. Oh, Lily moved. Okay, let's get you over here. But I am making progress and I'm really loving it. I feel like the first time I updated, I was pretty early on in the story, but I'm like 60% through, and I want to try to finish this today because I just like need to like find out what happens at the end and just like complete the story. I mean, this isn't gonna be the last book, but just like know what happens. And then I don't have to like try to dodge stuff on Instagram and TikTok because I'm afraid I'm gonna get spoiled, which would be so annoying when I'm this close to the end. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I do think some parts of the plot I'm like kind of confused by. It's just kind of gone over my head. I'm just like, oh well, it's fine. I understand enough to just keep on going, but one couple specifically, I love them so much. Well, I love both couples that we've seen, but one specifically is my favorite. I love them so much. And one, like the girl in the couple, is like my favorite character, I think, of the whole series. I have a feeling these last like 300 pages, less than 300 pages, are gonna be crazy. So I'm going back to reading the book. I honestly feel like I've been reading faster in the physical book. I don't know if it's my eyes, like I kind of have a headache lingering from last night, but I almost feel like I've been reading more or faster in the paperback or the hardback. I don't know. I do think I'm going to, like, there's 5 bonus scenes. I have one specifically in my Target edition. I think I'm gonna wait to read those. I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of time, and when I'm missing the characters, I might read them. I don't wanna like read all of them because then I wanna have anything else for a couple years probably until she comes out with another book, which is gonna be the next book in the Akatar series, which I'm actually very excited for. So anyways, it's kind of the update on Crescent City. I am really loving it. Like, it's so good. I had a feeling it would be the best book in the series, and I definitely think it is, just of what we've been building up to. And I have a feeling that the end of this is going to be crazy. Like, honestly, in my head, Sarah J. Maas's books, I've read like almost 600 pages and I have like less than 300 to go, and that logically sounds like a lot, but in my head, I feel like I have like 100 pages to go just because of how crazy this end is gonna be, that I'm just gonna fly through it. Like, it's not gonna feel like 300 pages, you know? I don't know how to explain it. I do think the first like 400 were insane. Like, I was so stressed, and then we got a little reprieve where they were figuring out some things, and then I have a feeling it's gonna get crazy again. So I've been stressed most of this book, but I'm loving it. So very excited to keep going. This is it. This is all I have. This right here. Also, I got this bookmark. It is so cute. It's from allyrosco.com. I found her on TikTok and she does like Throne of Glass bookmarks. She has a bunch of different ones and they're like paint swatches. And so I have one for Throne of Glass and I love it so much. I actually got Allie one for her birthday with my friend Allie. So we're twinning, but it's so cute. So I'm using that to read Crescent City. It just feels right. So love this bookmark, so cute. So anyways, gonna get to reading. It's currently like 3 in the afternoon and I have a feeling I can finish this. My Kindle says I have like 4.5 hours left, which is not a lot in Sarah J. Maas world. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Good. Great. Gosh, what the frick? I'm a little worried. It's actually a lot worried. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Really scared. Let's just keep on going. So it has been a few weeks since I finished Crescent City 3, House of Flame and Shadow, and I've just yet to film my outro. It is currently February 19th, and I'm finally sitting down to share my thoughts on this book. I was editing this footage, my hard drive messed up, and then I had to re-edit this footage. So it is a long time coming. I'm finally here, sharing my thoughts, finishing this vlog, so I can get it up. So, as you saw from the footage, I feel like my emotions were all over the place. Like, I was like smiling, and then the next scene I was like literally like, excuse me, I'm panicking. And that was pretty much me the entire book. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it so much. I feel like this is the best in the Crescent City series and my favorite book so far. There's gonna be another one, but it's gonna be a while before it comes out because she's coming out with the next ACOTAR book and I think another book before Crescent City 3, or Crescent City 4. So it's gonna be a while before we get that one, but I was really happy with how this book was, how it ended. I thought it was like so action-packed. Like from page 1, from the jump, I was invested, like literally itching to find out what was gonna happen. I couldn't put it down. I was like turning the pages, like so worried about these characters because I feel like I've really come to care about them as fictional beings, you know? I think the plot is so fun and interesting. There was, like, I've heard people say there's a lot of info dumping, which I feel like there definitely was, but it didn't take away from my reading experience because I feel like from what happened at the end of Crescent City 2, it's kind of expected to have some info dumping because there's so many things that we don't know and so many questions that we have. So I feel like we learned so much in this book that we didn't know beforehand. And also I feel like every Crescent City book has a lot of info going on, like Crescent City 1 especially, but then Crescent City 2 there's still a lot of info that you're learning. So I feel like Crescent City is just a lot of information that you're learning, and it's definitely the most complicated of Sarah J Maas's series. And personally it's like my second favorite. I don't love it as much as Throne of Glass. Like Throne of Glass is my favorite Sarah J Maas series, but Crescent City is my second favorite, and then ACOTAR would probably be last because, well, definitely would be last because I just don't feel like I connected with the ACOTAR characters as much as these characters, and especially the Throne of Glass characters. But I love this book so much. I love the series, and I'm so excited to see like what happens in the fourth book, even though it's gonna be a while before we get it. I'm very excited to see what happens and where the story goes. I was just so, I was on the edge of my seat. And then also like the romance in this book was so good. There's a couple characters that are my favorite. One of the couples, like kind of the side characters are my favorite, specifically one of them. One of the girl side characters is my favorite character, and her love interest is my favorite like romance in the series. And I loved every moment that we got with those characters. I love them so much. They're definitely like my favorite in the Crescent City series, and one of like my favorite things about the series is like their romance and like that storyline. I was very interested and very surprised by some of the things that we found out about one of those characters. And I feel like this book was just absolutely a whirlwind, insane. And also what happened at the end of Crescent City 2 going into this book, I was very happy with what we got from that storyline. And that's pretty much all I can say because it is a spoiler, but I was very happy with that. And overall, I just really loved it. It was the best and my favorite in the series. And I feel like the first and second book, I got bored like in the middle of those or like at some points in those. But this one, I feel like I was interested the whole way through, and that's really why it's my favorite. And I give it 5 stars. I feel like a fantasy book like this, if it just like keeps me on the edge of my seat and there's good romance, that's kind of how it gets a 5-star read, because I feel like if there was a moment where I get bored, that kind of knocks down the rating because it makes me less want to read it because I'm like, okay, I'm kind of bored. I don't like this plot line. But this entire book I loved, and I love the plot line, and I love like all the stuff that we learned. It was kind of insane, and the end was so good. And I just love these characters and the story, and it was just so good. So I loved it so much. 5 stars. Highly recommend the series. I would recommend reading ACOTAR and Throne of Glass before you read this, because this is like definitely the more complicated series, but it's just so good. So I was very excited to be a part of this release. I feel like releases are so fun, but especially like a Sarah J Maas release, I've never been a part of that. So it was so fun getting to like read it with everyone and seeing everyone's reviews and posts and release day posts, reels, all that stuff. It's so fun. So loved it so much. Finally getting this vlog up. So well, hopefully by this point, most of the people that want to read this book have read it. It's been a few weeks since release, so I feel like a lot of people have read it. Not that this has spoilers in it, but you know, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that is my review of Crescent City 3. I loved it. I love the series, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me read it, watching me go shopping for it. It was a blast. But I think that's it, and I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.